And replays from Zest, Innovation, Solar, Stats, Rogue. I mean, really, some of the best players in the world. There's some Snook games in there. There's obviously all these games in here that you've seen today aren't in there just yet, but they'll be in the next replay pack. So you'll get access to all of those as well. So a lot going on, basically. A lot of different bits and pieces that you can pick up on. And a lot of different replays that you can get your hands on for subscribing. Of course, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime as well. If you subscribe with Twitch Prime, it doesn't cost you anything, but it supports us just as much. And you get all the usual benefits still. And of course, you can donate, you can cheer, and all the rest of it. Obviously, you can also sub-gift if you're feeling kind and all the rest. Yes, I know the webcam's broke. The webcam's coming back hopefully tomorrow. I think I've got one at home. I was just in a bit of a rush today and I forgot to put it in my bag when I left, because my new mouse and mouse mat just came today, just before I left, and so I picked that up, and then I forgot to get the webcam because I was so excited about putting the mouse and mouse mat in my bag to bring to the studio. Just quickly, guys, before we introduce the players here, just going to put in the picture-in-picture, but Clem pushed in with a Hellbat Cyclone and a lone 4 attack to actually finish off the third hatchery of game time just now. And as he pushed on in, he's got another 4 in the back as well. Powerful attack, looks like he just retained a lot of units from early in the game, and it's a GG from game time. Clem takes that series 2 games to 1. He does pick up another victory for himself here today, which keeps these games in, well, keeps this group in a very interesting situation. Clem finishing off game time here. I mean, if you give me a moment, I can actually tell you a little bit about what that means in the overall scheme of things. But first, let's introduce our players. To the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Team Liquid is MaNa. And he's going up against the red Terran player from Team Liquid. To the bottom left-hand side, it's uThermal. Thank you, Epi35, for the 18-month resub. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support for 18 months in a row. No excuses. Show your face, dude. I'm so sorry. I'll be back tomorrow. It's so weird casting without my face on, you know? It's so strange. Like, every time I come out of game, I'm like, wait, what's wrong? It's really kind of, it's just different, you know? It's not what you'd usually, I don't know what it is about it, but it is kind of crazy. Like, I didn't realize it would, like, bother me so much, I suppose. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Anyways, I do have an updated set of results for you guys, just to show you how this group is going, as our early build orders of Stargate against 111 gets set up. So why don't we just show you guys what's going on in this group here, in the picture-in-picture. This is the current standing, so game time goes 1-3. uThermal still 2-0, Clem 2-1, Kane 1-2, and MaNa 1-1. And so we're getting towards the end of this group, of course. Still a few matches to go. Actually, after uThermal versus MaNa, we still have MaNa, Clem, and uThermal Keen. Once we have those matches finished up, we'll know the results. I will just remind you guys as well that even though we didn't show all the games fully on stream today, that we will be going through and we will be casting the replays of matches that were not featured on stream and that we're only giving you updates of. So we will be casting some of those matches even though we know the results. We might even put it to a vote as to which ones you guys want to see prioritized. But we will be casting some of those just from replays in case you guys want to see them, because I appreciate that some of you guys will want to see them. Even if the results are known, some people just like to see how the games went, and, well, it's just more StarCraft for us to watch, you know? Just more StarCraft for us to watch, and more action to enjoy as a Oracle to the left-hand side getting set up. A few Hellions moving on through the center of the map right now as well. So uThermal's gone for this 6 Hellion run by 3 Marine drop. This is something that MaNa actually did a very good job of against Keen, because he defended it and then he went for that counterattack. uThermal really needs to do something right now though, because at the moment this Oracle is just killing his mineral line. He doesn't have any answer to it, so he really does need to find something. As a new Oracle comes out, uThermal is going to get completely shut down. I mean, MaNa is not going to be able to counterattack, but he's not going to lose anywhere near as many workers, and he's already killed 8 workers of his own. I mean, this is a huge deal. I mean, he's going to lose 8 workers now, but the fact he's killed 8 workers as well, this really is huge for him here as uThermal. Will he get a final kill or so on this Hellion? He'll get 1 more, maybe even 2 more. So 13 kills. You gotta remember, when MaNa played against Keen, he lost 19 workers and didn't kill any in return until he counterattacked. So I'd still say that this is going pretty decently here for MaNa. Now, MaNa will counterattack anyways, but he won't have the blink ready to help. uThermal currently building a siege tank, but it only just started. Bunker will finish, which will be a big deal, because remember, without Blink, the Stalkers can't just blink into the main base and move around and dodge the bunker, etc. Although now 2 Oracles in the main, as Widowmine gets one of them. Oh, that's nice, because you don't usually see Widowmines anymore, so that's a great pick-off. A vital pick-off, although now uThermal out of position. No Marines in his bunker at the front, and without those Marines in the bunker, those Stalkers have a bit of potential to get something done. You will now see, MaNa, that these with this Oracle, that those Marines are kind of towards the edge and looking to see just what they can do. Robo facility is starting up at home from MaNa. Obviously, one of the big things about the patch without needing detection for Widow Mines is that you can kind of delay the Robo for a lot longer and go into something like a faster blink after the Stargate or so, even as we see a Dark Shrine on the way up as well. MaNa going to get cheeky here, realizing that uThermal isn't building turrets. Yes, we'll see if he does eventually here as we're going to see Stalkers. Again, it's risky for them to push up because they didn't know how many Marines were in this bunker for so long. And now there is a tank behind that bunker as well. It makes it a very difficult position to defend in. As we're going to be seeing that Forge on the way. MaNa is just, you know, he's looking for the longer game. He's not expecting to just win this in the next few moments. uThermal will load up 2 Medivacs though. Stim about to finish, and Stim makes this very scary. As we're going to be seeing Blink is finishing soon. Stalker's still poking and prodding. But MaNa doesn't realize that uThermal's moved a bunch of units out onto the map. Maybe MaNa expects these units to be maybe like in the main base. As he comes in the main and sees the lack of Marines, I really think MaNa has to realize something's wrong, and he is going to start heading back home. So great identification from MaNa that uThermal has units somewhere on the map, and because of that, he's going to be able to unload these Marines and maybe get the 3rd Nexus, but not much more than that, because again, MaNa's Stalkers are on their way back home. uThermal not moving forwards here. Maybe because he moves out and sees the Stalkers aren't there, he's worried about attacking this 3rd Nexus. So it's kind of like a bit of mind games from both players based on what they are seeing. I think if uThermal tries to move forwards and he sees the Stalkers, he's like, perfect, stim in and let's go. Right now, he just wants to make this one very powerful attack, doubling the army supply of his opponent, by the way. With a couple of siege tanks mixed in, this can become very deadly very quickly. uThermal, 2 tanks, stimmed Marines, a couple Medivacs to kind of keep these units alive. Oh god, and now he's going to get in between the 3rd Natural, which means those Stalkers are going to be segregated from war pins, because this pylon goes down, and now the 3rd Nexus is in trouble. Stalkers trying to come in from the Natural, but the tanks do their job. Well, Stalkers recall out of the 3rd base, but uThermal doesn't lose anything. He cancels the 3rd Nexus in the event in the end anyways. And now these tanks are still setting up and pushing forwards. See what else they can do. As Stim here is going to start working his way through a couple of gates. As Scan sees the Dark Templar, will empower the Robo, but not before the Immortal comes out. He actually stops targeting down the pylon. Needs a Scan now against the DTs, but I don't think he has one. How far away is he? As DT's in his main base and Natural as well. Oh, turret just comes up, but I think he might lose the turret. uThermal going to have to do some serious damage here. Then he starts to target the Natural expansion. Oh, he's lost this turret in the main base at the same time, so his reinforcements aren't even doing enough right now. He does have a turret in the Natural at least. Gets the Natural expansion, will lift up and boost out of here. Stalker's not in high enough numbers to realistically chase those Medivacs down. DT's just causing chaos in the main. That's going to be a Scan. That's 1 DT dealt with. There is one more just swiping. Where is it? I hear it. There it is, in the depot at the front. So there's just going to be our depot at the back. So he is going to be working his way through this with 1 more DT. uThermal has a Scan again soon though, and he's also building a 3rd CC. So uThermal getting into a good position. Shuts those DTs down. MaNa didn't kind of have a prism or anything for this. It was just a walk through. uThermal. Well, that was a scary moment or so for uThermal. He actually lost a lot of work. It's down 20. Moving across the map though. I mean, he doesn't even know about the 3rd CC, so he might not even come in to kind of punish that. uThermal just has such an army. He can fight against this. Remember, MaNa lost his Natural expansion. He lost his 3rd expansion. He has no way to really stay in this in terms of eco and to be able to build up enough army. Even pushing back this 3rd CC of uThermal would not necessarily be enough damage right now. And the Stalkers are going to get here, but it'll take them a little while because there's only 7 of them. And with only 7 Stalkers, it will take a while to pick his way through this base. Marines tanks moving forwards here, and now we're going to see MaNa trying to position himself and see what he can do. Blinks away though. MaNa will be safe for now. What's up? Nevermore93 coming in for the Twitch Prime sub, by the way. How you doing? And thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Give me some love in the chat, please, for a new fresh sub. Welcome to the family. And thank you for supporting the channel. As we do see uThermal pushing across for the counter-attack. Stalkers setting up, coming in towards this high ground, picking away a couple of units as they come across here. And I think uThermal, realistically, though, just has too much, especially with the tank support. See a couple of probes going down. Zealots as well. Going to see this Archon continue to push in as well, but I think you can just see that these tanks are lasting a little bit too long, and, well, even if the tanks go down now, I mean, the sentry gets picked off, this Immortal will fall. There's only going to be really Stalkers left. A few more Marines join the fray, and I guess Stalkers can kind of blink back for a while here. MaNa is holding on. Wow, MaNa actually is going to defend. It's kind of impressive. 6 workers go down in the process of DT denying the third base here at the same time. uThermal gets out with his medivacs at least, and he did reset the tech of his opponent. Killed off the Immortal, killed off the Archon. So it's not like he only picked away gateway units there. So I'd still say this went uThermal's way, but didn't quite manage to break on through just yet. As you are going to be seeing MaNa, well, in a position where you can maybe poke and prod still, but not really too many Stalkers to do too much with. As those Stalkers still moving around, looking for the opportunity, looking for the chance to pick up some extra units. Observer of MaNa just going to sit there, does get scanned, taken down almost instantly. +1 attack upgrade being Corona boosted away on this forge. For a moment there, I thought MaNa was typing out GG. I was like, well, okay, I mean, I can understand that, and I don't know, I suppose, actually. So, a quick pause here, guys. We'll be back in-game in just a moment.
Game resumed.
We resume this right away there as we kick off into this next stage of the game. MaNa with a few Stalkers still centralized, looking around. Team Liquid Showdown still possible for both of these players to advance through the group. Remember, guys, currently as it stands, MaNa kind of needs to win somewhere along the way, though. It kind of depends on further results. But yeah, uThermal, if he wins this, he's guaranteed through the group. Other than that, there's no guarantees on just who's going to end up where yet, but I guess we will see. So we've seen these Stalkers continue to move around. 2 Liberators coming over to the right-hand side as well. So uThermal going to start up this harassment, going to find himself a way to do a little bit here, a little bit there. Pick off a couple of probes, and well, even if he doesn't go in right now, you know, the threat of just sitting here is a big one. Is, oh my god, Stalkers nearly ran into those liberation zones. That might have been a dead Stalker if he had. He responds nice and quick as uThermal going to move on the map again. But stay now, though. 2-1 against 1-1. uThermal down on upgrades. And Colossi on the way out. The first Colossus is currently building, which means that, realistically here, uThermal's army is not going to be great for too much longer. It is getting weaker. Now the main army moves away, and uThermal sees this maybe a chance now for these libs to just set up on this mineral line, and that's immediately going to be a bunch of probes going down, but they pull away. Obviously Stalkers can blink in, but they can, if they do that, obviously not do too much more. And, there's a mini blink. He blinks some over the side because he realizes where those libs are going, but now it pulls units out of position, so uThermal can come in and engage this. Tanks are sieged, and the first Archon goes down. The Zealots are just filtering through so slowly. Colossi would kind of like to fight here, but it's going to be difficult, and maybe just a recall of units some way to kind of make this happen, as uThermal will just kite away, and again, leaving those tanks in the Liberator really pick up a lot of kills there. This one Colossus is still scary with so many Marines in the army of uThermal, to the point where uThermal actually has to back away from this. Liberator and tanks still on the high ground, helping to push reinforcing units back. And uThermal, this was a great little ploy. Those 2 Liberators really just pulling MaNa out of position, distracting him, and putting him into some very, very tough situations. Another scan comes down. uThermal scanning this third Nexus. We're going to be seeing a couple more Stalkers blinking forwards here. Another Liberator going down as well. Another tank siege is up, and we are going to be seeing those Marines splitting once more. We're going to see these couple of Immortals going down. Immortals go down. Stalkers are dropping as well. As I think we're going to see this Colossus is probably going to fall the next few moments too. This is going to be it. Colossus goes down, and I guess, I mean, there must be a new one soon. There it is, already moving over. Well, the tanks are down as well. uThermal is really struggling to break through MaNa at the moment. Going into Viking production, realizing he needs something a little bit different than just pure Marine here. And as we're going to be seeing those units pulling away, uThermal will give up the pressure once again, and MaNa, once more, is able to hold on to this. He's able to keep himself alive. He's keeping his dream alive here so far. We've seen some really nice long games so far today. Yesterday, if you guys were watching Group A, we had some much faster games, if I'm going to be completely honest. Some very fast series, and well, we saw some very fast series yesterday. Today is very different, which is awesome. It means that we get to really kind of sit back and enjoy just so much StarCraft. As you can see, these couple of Marines are going to get picked away at here. And then again, a couple of kills, and now these Stalkers going to come up top and see where they can go. This medevac of uThermal will be looking to see what it can do as well. Obviously, it was trying to drop around or something, but got shut down, so I'm not actually too sure what it was doing over there. By the way, guys, after this series, there's still 2 more series to be played, and we will be casting some of the matches from replays as well that we missed on mainstream. But yeah, there's still some matches to be played. I think it's Clem against MaNa and uThermal Keen to wrap us up for the day. So you see this medevac coming all the way back down towards the lower left side, and well, a couple of these refineries going to be finishing up on this 4th base planetary. Ghost Academy starting up here from uThermal. 4th Nexus coming on in at the front as well, and these Stalkers still just setting up and seeing maybe what they can do. A Warp Prism moves forwards, looking to see just where it can go, and we are going to be seeing the army of MaNa coming in towards the center of the map. Look to see what's going to happen. Bio coming up the left-hand side here for uThermal. Looking to move around, and actually this can maybe turn into a bit of a weird base trade. Base trades right now for pros players are interesting with the way that the recall mechanic works. Maybe we just see a straight up recall as uThermal sends in towards the 4th. MaNa looks as though he's just going to go for it. And I kind of got to remind you guys that in terms of everything that's happened this game, MaNa definitely was trailing, right? So if he can force this base trade, this might just become a better situation for him than he ever could have dreamed of. SCV should be repairing his planetary though. They do it a little bit late, and uThermal making some mistakes right from the get-go here. Oh no, DTs. Well, with DTs, obviously, it becomes very difficult because you need to make sure you have detection and multiple scans over time, because otherwise DTs will do a lot. MaNa now supply blocked 5 DTs on the map, and there is a bunch of them in the main. MaNa just going to throw these in a few at a time to kind of, well, make this difficult, right? To make uThermal have to scan again and again, and to get a lot of value out of this pressure. uThermal. Well, there's a turret at the front here, but that doesn't really help him with these DTs across the map. He scans, but there wasn't actually a DT here just yet. Okay, his main base has some energy at least, but MaNa is actually just recalled towards the 3rd base to protect it. So MaNa is going to be able to protect his 3rd base. uThermal's still working his way through the main. MaNa is maybe going to be able to fight here, but there's so many tanks. uThermal scans again, but he actually scans on the army, and there's a DT on his army right now. Again, 2 more DTs is hidden in the corner, and uThermal needs this scan right now, but the orbital is lifted with energy. uThermal, I don't think, has a choice other than to find a way to lift up and leave here in a moment. There's MaNa. He'll clean up every single one of these siege tanks. There's the lift, there's the boost. He will get away. Trades with these Marines for 1 more Stalker. Just gets what he can. Warp Prism on the way back. uThermal will land down this CC on the low ground. Once this CC is in locations he can mine effectively from, as I guess now he will gather all of his units back up together. He still has a medevac or 2 in the main base. The most important thing for uThermal is get a turret on this base here and just make sure that he's going to be able to have some sort of, scans available for the future fights, because he cannot afford to take fights here where it's just DTs slashing away at his main army time and time and time again. DTs are so good in base trades, it's really kind of crazy. uThermal lost a series to Kerr the other week in the EU Ladder Heroes Monthly Finals because DTs were just so good in the base trades. It really was super powerful, as uThermal will get a cancel on this Nexus, and he will get these medevacs back into the main to try and do a bit more. Still 1 Nexus down here. MaNa rebuilds this one, but obviously it just slows him down in terms of overall production he can commit to. Well, I think that medevac's dead. Boosts, but just a little bit too late, and uThermal loses out on it. Currently 2-2 upgrades now from uThermal. He has 2-1 for MaNa to deal with here. Another 20-minute TvP. MaNa is really putting out some insane TvPs today. He's really putting out some long uns. He's about to play Clem after this series as well. It'll be interesting to maybe see that one rather than the TvT of uThermal Keen. I'm not sure which of those we're going to cast just yet. Army gathered together. MaNa moving around. I mean, this is a much better scenario right now than it was for him a little while ago. uThermal picks off this base over here. Oh, this pylon over here. see the Stalkers will obviously be able to just blink away. This few units getting caught. Oh, nice target fire though of the Stalker that already blinked backwards. uThermal then needs to get in position to this right-hand side. He's got a lot of Vikings, he's got a lot of units in general, but now this Orbital's going to take a lot of damage. Has to start mass repairing it, but SCVs will take a lot of damage in the process. Vikings coming in very high numbers will start to chase down Colossi as the rest of the army moves forwards. An Orbital lifted means that he doesn't necessarily have detection for DTs though, and that's sort of maybe sucks for him here as he needs to scan right now. Does he have it? He threw down EMP, but there's still DTs going wild on this army. Another EMP, but there's still 2 Dark Templar. uThermal needs to land this ASAP. Whereas the other Orbital is up here. It has a scan right now. As the scan gets the DT, uThermal cleans it up. He is going to be able to push, well, it doesn't push MaNa's army away. He kills MaNa's army. And now doubling the army supply. Maybe he can do something if he goes across the map once again. So off and away we go. A good chunk of bio here. A couple of Liberators, a couple of Vikings. As uThermal wants to aggress towards the upper right-hand side. I mean, there's a Robo here, which is very exposed. If uThermal finds that, the Colossi popping out on its own, it could be huge. Stalker's currently counter-attacking in. There isn't any use from uThermal to defend at home. This Liberator siege up, he's going to see that Colossus, he's going to stim for it. He realizes, of course, that that is a great opportunity, perhaps. Vikings now fighting the War Prism rather than the Colossus, but he gets it. And that's going to be GG. MaNa does tap out of game 1 for uThermal. Now this week for this event, please do go and throw it down. It's WTV AI on the Match Arena page. Super easy, super simple for you guys to do. So go, go, go. Would love for you guys to use those up. We should be able to use them up by the time I check it next. So go, go, go. As to the bottom right-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Team Liquid, it is MaNa. Playing against the red Terran player to the top left-hand side, also from Team Liquid. 1-0 up, it's uThermal. Early pressure here from MaNa as he throws down the proxied gateway. It's the second gateway, so there's going to be a lot of Stalker-based pressure early. uThermal's going to need something like a very fast Cyclone to defend against this. Reaper so far doesn't see what's going on. As he sees the lack of an expansion, he might worry a little bit. It's actually going to be an expansion on a gold to follow this up as well. Just going to throw down the expansion on the gold base here. MaNa setting up in toward that as we do see this Reaper continuing down towards the lower right side. Stalker comes in and will start to work his way through that Reaper. So a little bit of damage being done. Reaper pops on up and back down. Again, sees no expansion. We'll be a little bit worried. Does he build a bunker? What's the plan? He builds 2 Hellions. It's not going to help a lot against what MaNa's going for here. Again, already building that Stalker at the front. While Zealot initially, yes, uThermal can just lift up and just go towards the high ground in the near future. Looks like it's going to be 2 Hellions and back into Marine production on the reactor. Another pylon coming on up. I'm just going to see the 2 Hellions are trying to go across the map, but already intercepted by 1 Stalker. Now another coming across the map too. Factory actually stays on the reactor then. This barrack's not doing anything right now as the first Cyclone's on the way. And obviously just landed. Get a Marine out. Anything will help to push this back. With some pressure on towards this initial setup here as the first Hellion goes down. And well, it looks as though it's going to be a complete wall-up to stop that Hellion getting in towards the main base. uThermal has to be careful not to overreact though, because there is an expansion up on the gold, and that's something which will help MaNa to follow up from the later CCs, or later Nexus as well. First Cyclone out, and uThermal going to continue building Cyclones, which is one of the more powerful things he can do in this sort of scenario. Cyclones will do a lot against Stalkers, and obviously also opens up a lot of potential counter-attack play. So you're going to see the first Stalker here gets pulled back, but a little bit too late. uThermal has to pull back up to the high ground with this first Cyclone that's already kind of low. Gets another Stalker here though. I mean, it's kills like this that go a long way. SCVs pull in, realizing he needs something to block those units off, and also to repair the Cyclones up with. You really don't want to be losing those Cyclones, but he loses 1 to the Zealot. Well, that's going to be a surround on our SCVs, and now he will clean up the rest of these gateway units. Still has 2 of his Cyclones alive, so we'll be able to get aggressive with those if he wants to, if he feels like he can. It isn't the easiest thing to go for, so we'll see. But he did lose a lot of mine time here. He lost a few SCVs. I think it was about 6 or 7, right? 6 SCVs down. That's quite a few. There's now 3 more Stalkers actually about to approach the front, and MaNa going to keep up the pressure here in these very early stages of game number 2. Poking in already, 1 SCV drops pretty much right away. So 1 SCV goes down, the Stalker's still poking a second one as well. One more Cyclone on the way up, and we do still see just another Stargate about to... Well, not another Stargate, but another Oracle about to pop up the Stargate. I say another one. It's actually the first Oracle. The thing is, with so many Cyclones, the Oracle's not a massive issue as long as it's in the right place. The Cyclone picks off the power to that pile, to that gateway. SCV's still chasing here, by the way. I wonder if they come all the way across the map to kind of repair Cyclones and get aggressive. Looks as though the answer to that is no. Maybe not a bad thing, because the Oracle now headed towards the main. uThermal needs to get those Cyclones in position, otherwise that Oracle will do a lot. Already it looks as though it's going to get quite a few SCV kills here as they push it straight on in, and well, 2 Cyclones go to respond, and keeps a few Cyclones at the front as well. Obviously wants to keep defending against those Stalkers, as there is the lock on one Cyclone and the second. It's going to keep vision here, but is it for long enough? No, not to kill it. Very close though. As now we're going to be seeing those Cyclones going to come over and just finish off this gateway. And again, behind this MaNa on a gold base, his eco is definitely going to be starting to take a bit of a lead here. A lot of ups and downs. Obviously, we'll see it stabilize for a moment as uThermal does get back to mining on his main base. And a blink upgrade on the way up as well, as uThermal still just massing up Cyclones. Engineering bay is starting on up in the main base, and uThermal just getting ready to go in towards potentially missile turrets. You know, upgrades as well is something which obviously is enabled by the engineering bay. And it starts to push across the map. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because this gold base from MaNa, I think, is still unscouted by uThermal. And yet, that's where he positions all of his Stalkers. That's not good for MaNa, because if these Cyclones get across the map, well, uThermal's going to have the time of his life in terms of breaking through this wall and dealing damage. It's not the NG4 recall there either just yet. MaNa even going to take the third base on the third base location, still just skipping the natural. I think even when he sees this, we'll obviously begin to realize, okay, well, you know, you're obviously doing something a bit funky here. There's going to be 2 pylons going down almost instantly, though. MaNa not quite supply blocked by this, but now you might lose this pylon on the main base, and oh my god, both gateways, the blink as well, all unpowered here, the Stargate too. And these Cyclones will just continue to fight. 2 of them pull away to fight against those Stalkers over there, but now the rest of them are just going to trade out for a whole bunch of these probes. Targets down a couple more Stalkers, and how many probes does he get? 14? Very good damage done right now as, well, a siege tank coming up at home. He's already got 1 bunker, and look at that. Immediately builds a second one. Realizing here that, obviously, this is potentially a big follow-up aggression out of MaNa. Because he just lost a lot of his Cyclones, the counterattack is going to become very, very applicable to this situation. So uThermal getting the second bunker up. It will finish in a moment or two. As we're going to be seeing the Stalkers pushing forwards and looking for the pick-off on that SCV. Doesn't. Okay, there we go. Finally reaches it just at the end. And the Stalkers pushing out through the top side here once again. All of this gathering up and getting ready to go. A stim pack plus 1 attack upgrade coming through. See those Stalkers are going to want to try and jump up in towards the main. Well, there's a siege tank here in a bunker. The Cyclone went down almost instantly. Another tank on the low ground is doing a lot. Oh, MaNa's actually losing way too much of this, I think. Look how many of these Stalkers go down so fast. Although, actually now, uThermal's going to run out of units. There's another bunker here. You should probably transfer these units into the other bunker, right? Another tank about to pop. He still has Marines up here as well. He actually pops a couple of Marines out. And with Stim coming in, I think he's going to have enough to shut this down. He blinks on top of the tank, but there's not many Stalkers left. Can he protect the tank? He cannot. A couple of Adepts coming through as well. We'll chase those Stalkers down. More Marines popping out. There's 5 racks up, so uThermal has the production. And it looks as though he will just about hold on. And now he just needs to keep these bunkers filled up. If he keeps these bunkers filled, it should be fine for him. But man, that was a scary moment or two here. He's coming up top. He will kill off that Stalker as well. So that Stalker also goes down. MaNa's still poking at the front here. uThermal jumps from one bunker to the other. Now he will get SCVs here to repair in time. And another stim on these Marines, but he has to be a little bit careful. Those Marines are getting a little bit low on health already. Obviously, Medivacs are starting to pop out and will start to go a long way, but we'll have to keep them very safe. Keep them away from those Stalkers, which will obviously be very hungry to just pick up a quick bunker, quick Medivac kill here, there, whenever possible. Bunker kept alive. See, plus 1 armor on the way up. Combat shields as well. MaNa just going to play straight in towards a Glaive's follow-up. So looking to play a Stalker Adept, and more so looking to end this now rather than later. He does take his 5th and 6th gases, so he gets in towards the final set of gases he has available to him until he takes another base. And that means he probably is looking to tech up here. But still, again, for now, it's going to be heavy on the gateway units, and so no real tech coming in. uThermal taking a big upgrade lead as well. Very soon to be 1-1 rather than just +1. A lot of Adepts, though, and those can shade in very easily. Oh, uThermal just loaded up 2 Medivacs of units. That's not going to help him here, because those Adepts can shade down. He's going to go for a flank in. I mean, I don't even know what he wants to try and achieve right now. Maybe catch those swords as they move away, but now the Adepts are going to commit in, and the Marines are going to start stimming forwards, but they're just so late to the fight. The tanks go down. The uThermal will take so much damage in the process here. The tank pops and goes down instantly because the Protoss player is on top of the production. This is where the +1 attack upgrade will come in useful, though, because those Marines will shred these gateway units to the point where it's still going to be too much for uThermal. In one of the kind of worst scenarios that could have been here in this defensive position with the medevacs out on the map initially. He still is able to clean it up, and again, those upgrades just so valuable at this sort of stage of the game as uThermal, a third CC, came up behind all of this now, and it starts to move into position. A few SCVs moving down to the low ground, getting ready to mine from this spot as MaNa stops at the 4th base on his natural expansion. Again, a bit of a weirder expansion pattern from here in this game. There's just so many Marines. There's not enough Adepts to really fight this, and it's going to be GG out of MaNa for uThermal to pick up the 2-0. uThermal 2, MaNa 0, and uThermal goes